travelling down from Glasgow to London tomorrow to join in those protests. Daryl, a lot of our audience, I mean, we had a good look at the movement from your side just there. A lot of our audience, though, would be nodding along when Boris Johnson said you were uncooperative crusties today, and they might wonder what you think you're achieving by blocking off a capital city, disrupting millions of people, costing businesses millions of pounds.
I think when 1,800 people are preparing to go on hunger strike very soon as part of this action, it shows that it's a very, very serious emergency, as the government's admitted itself. These are people of conscience, and I think it's outrageous that we have a Prime Minister who contemptuously dismisses such people of conscience as crusties. This is an emergency. The government's admitted itself. It's just not taking sufficient action sufficiently quickly. And that's all we're doing. We're saying we want to restore a safe climate. We don't want to risk climate breakdown, crop failure, food shortages, which are predicted within 2 to 10 years in this country and across Europe. That's very, very soon.
Sure, but if your movement is to succeed, if it's to win popular support, you've got to take people with you.
Yes.
Is causing widespread disruption the best way to do that?
I think we're causing less, actually, disruption this time than last time, because we're not blocking major intersections around the centre of London. We're just blocking Westminster, with the heart of government. So we're focusing more on the centre of power. And if you look at insurrections over the course of history that have attempted to change the course of history very rapidly, change society very rapidly, which is what we need at the moment, you have to focus on the centre of power, you have to draw millions of people in, and you have to win hearts and minds in the same way the suffragettes did, or the civil rights movement. You have to chain yourself to buildings, ultimately. If the government's refusing to take responsibility, somebody has to. So that's why I'm going down tomorrow to take part in this, to be able to, as the protester just said there, to look my family in the eye. And my son is going down with me, because we don't see that anyone else is taking action.
When you talk about winning hearts and minds, and Martin just touched on it there, you know, you need to keep the public on side for something like this. I just wonder about the tactics. I mean, no one's denying this is a serious issue, but when then you see images of your protesters, you know, singing and dancing, singing in the rain in London, doing yoga classes, spraying buildings with blood, I mean, does that not risk weakening your message?
I think people understand that we need dramatic images, because the government talks about it in such an anodyne fashion. 2050, they're just kicking the ball into the long grass. When we went down last time, Scotland, a contingent from Scotland went down on the bus in April, and we said to the bus driver, you know, what about this protest? Well, how do you feel about it? And the bus driver didn't know who we were. He just said, well, I'm going to be an hour and a half late. I'm going to lose money because of it, but it's worth it for the sake of the children.
All right, well, it's a very determined course of action you're taking. We will see what it yields. But in the meantime, thank you very much indeed for being with us, Daryl Tayar.
Thank you for inviting me.